woman in agriculture can take the lead. Whatever the challenge, whatever the need, she'll rise to meet demands of the day in her own unique, Agceptional way. Over time, people in agriculture have learned to adapt successfully to changing circumstances, always seeking to turn adversity into opportunity.
In June of 2011, Memorial Day weekend, I didn't see this coming, but there was a tremendous amount of water coming down the Missouri River. So my son started readying the irrigation pivots, removing motors and control panels, and we checked our farms, and we decided to build a berm, and it was done in a few days, and it was flooded from the 1st of June until the middle of September. And it was a terrifying summer. Every night we went to bed, we wondered what was happening. That land is pretty precious to me, and it's like a family member, actually. But we made it through the summer, and the water receded. What was left behind was like the surface of the moon. The river had cut a new channel into our ground. It was 30 feet deep, a football field wide, and probably 3/4 mile long. And I guess that was lucky, because we had a place for our sand to go. Some farmers did not have a place to deposit their sand. My brother-in-law came down from Minnesota right away, and he, with 2 construction companies, put together a team of workers, and we all worked for 4 months, the middle of October to the end of January. So we filled that crevice. It was just amazing to watch. It was orchestrated very well. My brother-in-law did a great job. And we went right into this year. It was warm from way too early. There was no rain. It just seems so odd that we have an epic flood one year and an epic drought the second. It's just unbelievable. But farmers are resilient. We're taught to be that way. Every year's different, and we just learn to face the adversity. We love what we do, and we're willing to find a way around the obstacles.
The Kirkholm family has endured many hardships to maintain a successful farming operation.
My husband passed away in 2008, May of 2008, of cancer. When I lost Dennis, there were a lot of responsibilities that I had to undertake. I immediately knew that Tyler and I were probably going to continue farming. My children were old enough to realize that how great a man he was. It wasn't just losing a dad. They lost a big figure in their life, because they were young adults and they appreciated him for more than just being a father. So they needed a little care from me as their only parent.
She's really taught me such an important lesson that as a woman, I can do really anything I want to do, and I shouldn't be held back by gender or male or female roles. And I think as a parent, that's a pretty great lesson to teach a child.
When her husband Denny was stricken with cancer, I think for probably a 2-year stretch she never left his side. Whether it was in the hospital or drying corn or jumping in a truck and taking it over by herself. Just a tremendous woman who keeps the farm operation in order. She does all the bookkeeping, and when her husband was alive, I could see why he was a successful farmer, because as they say, there's always a good woman behind every good man.
My husband trusted my opinions, and he valued my advice.
He allowed her to be her own person. He never held her back, and he let her do so many things on her own that she's later in years come to say, I think that all happened for a reason.
Now without him, I'm able to carry on, and I think that was a great advantage.
Because now she's in a different role. She is a partner in the operation with my brother.
Farming with my mom has definitely been a rewarding experience. We're not without our differences generationally, and I guess as a male and a female in a partnership together, but you definitely find out a lot about each other in these type of situations. we've also found a good way of separating our mother and son relationship from our business partnership, and I never forget that she's still the boss. So my mother's she's the smartest, hardest working person I know. I couldn't be luckier. That
first year was really tough. The first time he went out to plant his own crop and to spray his own crop, without an advisor, it was pretty challenging. But I didn't notice that when we went through it. He did it, and he had terrific confidence, and he did a great job, and he still continues to do a terrific job. I'm so fortunate to have the son I have. And throughout this all, my daughter Tess has been a support for myself and for Tyler. She's our greatest fan, and she's optimistic, and she keeps us sane and grounded.
Honored for her strength and perseverance, character and integrity, knowledge and skills in agriculture, Nancy Kirkholm is the 2012 Agceptional Woman of the Year.
Mostly is Nancy is always somebody who's going to step up to the plate in good times, bad times, in any situation, and probably the most helpful person behind the scenes and in front of the scenes is somebody I've known in my lifetime.
She has such a unique way of kind of putting her thoughts into words that are really uplifting and beautiful and inspiring. She's a great role model for all women. She's inspirational, she's strong, even though she's had some tough adversities in the last couple years. She's always pushed through.
She has a lot of good qualities. So her best quality would probably be her perseverance. She pushes through anything, it seems. It's hard to rattle my mother. And her worst quality is she doesn't think I clean up very well around here, so I don't know. She don't have very many bad qualities, or any at all, I don't think. My mom might be as close to a saint as I know.
My mom is my best friend. She is someone that I can go to for anything that I need to talk about. She's so easy to talk to, and she really just kind of tells you the way it is. She's funny, she's enjoyable to be around. She's one of the most hardworking people that I know. She's loyal, and she's so dedicated to her family, her friends, and agriculture.
In agriculture, there will always be adversity. There will always be hope. It's often through adversity that we learn new ways to cope and develop new techniques that ensure future success.
5 years ago, I probably wouldn't have looked at today and then thought then this is what our life would be like. And I don't mean to say that in a negative way, because I am a very optimistic person and I love life, but I didn't think we would go through all of these things, and nobody ever does. But on the plus side, we really see that we have made it through all of them, and as a family unit, my mom, brother, and I have really stuck together. What we have is each other, and our dynamic is different than it was before, but we really stick together, and we've risen above everything we've been through, and we keep going on each day, and we'll continue to keep going on.
Adversity is never bad. It makes you stronger, and I think that's one of the primary lessons I've always learned from my mother is you just got to keep moving on. And she's always been a person that, whether it's my sister, myself, my grandparents, family, or friends, she always puts everyone ahead of herself. She has everyone else's needs at the top of her mind, it seems, at all times. We were just all really lucky. I'm lucky, my sister's lucky, we're all lucky to have her around.
I think my advice to someone who has undergone serious challenges in agriculture, my advice would be never to lose sight of what matters to you, and never give up. I mean, and you just have to learn that the next day is going to be better, and you get up and you do it again. I mean, you've read that, it sounds cliche, but it is the truth, and that probably works in anyone's life, in anyone's business, but in agriculture especially, we are so reliant on nature and rain and the sun, and it's there most of the time, sometimes not, but just devote yourself to the hope that it's going to get better, and it always will.
She makes it through good times, she makes it through tough. She makes sure that there's more than enough. She stands tall when push comes to shove. She works, she gives, she laughs, she loves. It's credit where credit is due. Exceptional women are tried and true. She makes it through good times, she makes it through tough. She makes sure that there's more than enough. She stands tall when push comes to shove. She works, she gives, she laughs, she loves. That's the credit where credit is due. Exceptional women are tried and true. Exceptional